Grpow, Berlin'de Türkiye'ye
We out here,
selam
man.
olsun.
We out here.
Wir sind draußen hier. Istanbul, Grpow. Pow, pow.
Maybe a van ringing out over the city as Maghrib time.
Ablan yemeyecek ki.
Grpow. Ne demek? Sultan Abuk söylemedi mi?
Oh yeah, you're right.
Muhammed.
Yes, Pasha.
When me and Mustafa went to San Francisco, we visited one of our customers. I said Muslim, and he said,
You're in a random place in Istanbul. I have no clue where it is. Just with Mustafa right now. And there's a metro station. Clock tower. It's about almost 1:13. There's a big street down there. There's people walking around. It's very sunny. It's about 85 Fahrenheit, and there's the car. And I'm just taking a video to see. This is kind of very local Istanbul, so this is what it's like in the non-tourist areas. Lots of people walking, waiting for the bus. Good frequency on the buses. But yeah. Grpow, we at the street. What's it called, Mustafa?
Bağdat Avenue.
We're at Salt Bay's restaurant. Here we are. We're about to get Salt Bay. Salt Bay. We got the burger, fries, cake. Grpow.
Yes, sir, man.
Here I am at a park in Istanbul along the Sea of Marmara. Over there, probably some of the islands, or I'm not even sure because I don't know the geography of this that well. Outside of the Fatih district or old Constantinople and what was conquered and then became Istanbul. There's this very beautiful park. We walked from up there. These are all kind of higher class condos, I would assume, or apartments, and you've got sailboats and everything. And yeah, very cool place. And we're walking up to there and then gonna walk back. So here's the Sea of Marmara. I'm not sure what those islands or landmasses are in the distance. It's along the park. I'm walking along the sea with Mustafa. You can see you've got birds, you've got people boating, you've got a little jetty, and there's people walking around. Overall, a good vibe. Very nice. But yeah, here's me, and there's some people paddleboarding? No, electric boarding? I don't know what it's called. Inshallah, here's the beautiful city of Istanbul. Here is the view from the apartment I'm in with my friend Mustafa. MashaAllah. So over there is the Sea of Marmara. I'm not sure what's in that direction, but the Sea of Marmara and plus islands, and if on a clear day you can see Bursa apparently. But yeah, so it's just over there. Very nice. This is a balcony on the 6th floor, American 7th floor. I'm at the biggest mosque in Turkey right now. MashaAllah. That dome is incredibly high, maybe 100 meters or so. MashaAllah.
Deswegen bin ich offline. Çevrimiçi WhatsApp basıyordum tak nur online. Söyle bana rahat mısın başkasının elinde. Gözüme görünme artık işim bitti seninle. Ruf mich nicht an Für dich bin ich nicht erreichbar. Ich bin so gebrochen, dass ich dir niemals verzeihen kann. Son defa görmedim, yalanım yok özledim. Melek gibi.
On the bus right now going from Asia to Europe. Over there is the Fatih district, what was Constantinople, then Istanbul, and before then multiple different settlements under different empires, from the Romans to the Byzantines to the Greek states.
Only city located in 2 continents.
There's the big Jame over there. There's some people along the Bosphorus. Here you can see all the hills. So that's the Anatolian side. And we're on the 15 July, right? Correct. 15 July Martyrs Bridge after the coup attempt. And you can see Hagia Sophia and the Blue Mosque in the distance. So we're currently in a masjid that was built, I think, as part of the new Imperial Ottoman Palace, which was over there, and when it was built in the late 1800s, around 1890, I think. And on the European side of Istanbul, over there is the Bosphorus, and this is a very beautiful masjid. You can see there's the chandelier, and the dome is actually incredibly high comparative to the building. And I think it's a single dome, but it's just like you can see kind of, I'd say, European artistic influences on how that's painted. And then you have all of this, and you can tell it's very old. It hasn't been touched up. And then you have this Ashab, you have Umar Abu Bakr, Ammar and Ali or Uthman. Then here you can see how high the dome is. There's a chandelier in the middle.
Ali.
And then there's the mihrab, or not mihrab. There's the mihrab. There's the mimbar. But yeah, here Mustafa and I are going up all of these stairs.
God help me.
There's the Bosphorus. We're in some Istanbul neighborhood to go up all of this to go to Taksim.
Islak burger.
Bizim paralarımıza bir abicim. Diren Poğut'un parası ödeyeceğiz.
Currently we're on İstiklal Street, one of the famous streets in Istanbul. You can see all the flags here, the famous tram tracks. There's lots of people, lots of shops. Mainly people are sticking to the left because it's the shade. You can see they've got the Turkish football team. They've got the flags up. So Mustafa, and you can see you've got all these beautiful shops on the side. So here I am in the Gezi Park, or Taksim Gezi Park Masjid. Gezi Park, I'm not sure, Taksim Square Mosque. It's a very modern masjid. It has a large dome. Looks to be very nice, mashallah. And there's a group of people, I think, learning about Islam or something like that. He seems to be explaining. And it's very big. There you have a complex with cafes, and under is wudu and everything. And you have Ashab, Rasulullah's names and Allah's name. And the famous Ashab, I should say. And the thing is, like, it's very cool here is that in this area there were protests some years ago, Gezi Park protests, I think in 2014. But yeah, so living or going past history I've read about, and then also learning about this masjid, which is very beautiful, mashallah. And then yeah, we've got the mihrab, mimbar, I'm not sure what that is, and then got the ladies section up there, very nice, mashallah. And you've got up there some calligraphy all along. Here we are on a ferry. It's going to Üsküdar. And there you can see, I think this is the Golden Horn, or Bosphorus, I don't remember. It's the ferry. Got all these bridges, got a ferry coming in. Beautiful views of Istanbul. I'm not sure where exactly we are, but very beautiful. Here we are on a ferry, Mustafa and I. There's the Galata Tower. There's Mustafa, we just came over to that bridge. People, there's part of Istanbul, the European side, that's the Asian side over there. And yeah, very cool.
Sarıgazi'den sonra bir durak daha mı gidiyor?
Very deep underground. It's coming in 1 minute. Here we got Water Garden. Seems a really nice development. Got all of these modern looking hotels and apartment buildings around with all of these different firms. You've got a Krispy Kreme, US Polo, so it's seemingly a Western shopping mall with Western brands. Got all of these different things. You've got these fountains that are meant to turn on. You've got buildings going on over there, and you've got some towers and everything in between.
سلامي غزة مش ناقصة شر نتقابلوا في الأقصى هيلينا لو فوق الأرض وتحتيها سوقا جمعة تلاقينا مدفون يقولوا رحمية ويا صالينا لو يقصى.
Here I am at the Ilahiyat Jame, Ilahiyat Masjid, and you have this beautiful modern Islamic architecture along the windows. You can see that, and then it's very echoey in here. There's a cat. You can see the big dome. It seems to be a lot more simplistic in terms of calligraphy on the dome section as compared to other mosques I've been to. You can see here. Very nice. There's two entrances. There's minarets outside. And here's this in the center. I'm not sure what this is. Grpow. We got that chicken in the Malaysian spicy oil. Grpow. Yo, how's it, Mustafa?
Too hungry to talk.
Çözmeden beni arama Bir şey bilmesem seni aramam Senle kimseler girmez arama Senle kimseler girmez arama 144 DM Bir şeyler yaptım
The Istanbul Metro Line M5 from the Bulgari station. You can see they have metal detectors up in the turnstiles. They use a turnstile method here. You go deep underground, maybe 30 meters, I would assume, some maybe less. I took a lift and then an escalator. This is a very clean and modern metro station. Here's me. It's AC, and there I'm going to Üsküdar, which is the end/beginning of the M5 line. From there I'm going to go to Fatih District. And you can see that Mono maybe means line, I'm not sure. You can see that. Here I am outside of the Üsküdar station, which is like over there, the exit. So here, over there, where the boats are, is the ferry I took back from. The European side over there, there's a Jame Masjid, mosque, moschee, masjid, whatever you want to call it. You can see that. So basically, over there is the Dolmabahce Palace, which was the last and newest built palace of the Ottoman Sultans in the 1860s. And it almost bankrupted the empire. And then there's the Dolmabahce Jame, which is a beautiful mosque, but was built as part of the complex. And then you can see some other masjids in the distance. I'm going to go to Fatih District, inshallah. You can see ferry terminal, or cruise ship terminal, and a few other mosques and everything. The water is very nice. It's very hazy because there's pollution. City of about 15, 20 million, something like that. Lots of cars in a concentrated area, not too many green spaces, so it's very apparent. You have a large Turkish flag in the distance. Multiple built-up areas, people fishing, people are sitting. It's sunny, but not too hot. I think the haze is maybe helping protect against the heat, but also creating a heat island effect with the amount of concrete. You can see all of these buildings built up on a hill. Istanbul's a very hilly place. But yeah, Dolmabahce Palace. And also the cool thing about that mosque is that it uses Baroque architecture. It's very cool. from the train station I was going from to the top of the palace, and halfway there, and you can see these walls. I'm not sure if they're from the Ottoman times or the Byzantine times or before. These are what would have protected what was the Imperial Palace complex, because Topkapi is actually built on what was the old Byzantine palace complex. It includes there's surface mechanisms, and there's a tram line here. Things are very efficient in this area because they can fit onto the roads and have the capacity roughly of a train, but can move like a bus. And yeah, right here, across, yeah, there's a lot of boutiques and everything. There's one of the trams. Seems to be very narrow, not too wide. So after coming up to kind of right at the threshold of entering Topkapi Palace, there's this beautiful park with walls and everything. And it's beautiful, and I'm going to the gate of salutation after the ticket office. And you can see, very nice, there's to go through the security check. Much like a lot of other places in Turkey. It seems to be incredibly high security. But yeah, you can see lots of tourists. Yeah, it's a very beautiful day. The smog does degrade the sky a bit, but that's okay. Here I am at Topkapi Palace in the second courtyard. There's all of this, and there's 2 more courtyards to see. We've got these beautiful flowers, this beautiful courtyard called the Justice Square. Interesting. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. You can see they have water fountains when you come out of the harem into the 3rd courtyard, I think. Some more buildings, lots of domes and everything. Some kind of vehicle. Let's see, I'm exiting the harem, now I'm going to where the holy relics are. You can see all this very beautifully paved and landscaped. Incredible. I am in the chamber of holy relics where and others are stored. See all of them. You get a close up in the chamber. We're gonna pop on live. Here's me. You can see the beautiful architecture. Key approach of the Grpow. Here I am in the 4th courtyard, which is the last of the courtyards in the Topkapi Palace. So currently I'm looking out into the Bosphorus, which then leads to the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov. And you can see here, you have the remains of the Theodosian walls along the Bosphorus. The Theodosian walls are the ones built during the Byzantine times to protect the city. And what's interesting is, so this was originally a hill, but below that hill was the old Byzantine Imperial Palace on which Topkapi Palace is built. So this gives it height, and you can see some of the fortifications there, and then some more. And this was the Golden Horn is to the left, where Sultan Mehmet would have brought his ships over into the Golden Horn to avoid the change through the Venetian settlement, or behind the Venetian settlement, in order to ensure victory over the Byzantines. And you can see here, it's incredible. This looks more, I want to say, like modern, like 18th, 19th century architecture. And you can see what is interesting is in the distances where I've been, Uksender, and you can see the big mosque over there, and the big flag and the tower that I see every night. It's very wonderful. It's a wonderful breeze. You can see the ocean. There's a ring road along the Bosphorus, and there are boats and people sitting. It's wonderful. Here I am in the balcony of the pavilion of Mehmet the Conqueror. This was his apartments prior to his death, and it was eventually converted into another building. And here you can see the Bosphorus. There's the Dolmabahce Palace on the European side. So to the left will be the Golden Horn. It's the Bosphorus that goes through the Black Sea. You can see large mosques there, 65,000 person capacity. And here's the inside of the building, very nice. There's a fountain. Reminds me very much of the Alhambra Palace complex that we saw in Spain. And this looks out into the ocean due to the pollution you can't see. However, you can see the new developments on the Asian side and all of these people here. And yeah. So here is the outside of the Topkapi Palace complex. Here on the left is the Hagia Sophia with its minarets. I think in the distance is the, what is it? Maybe the Buddha, I'm not sure. And then here you have the walls that protected the palace complex. And I'm not sure if these are the Theodosian walls, new walls. But here you can see this gate was made by Mehmet the Conqueror, Fatih Sultan Mehmet II, son of Murad. And this was made in, and the inscriptions and everything are incredibly beautiful. And this is the entrance to the museum portion. I'm going to Hagia Sophia's worshippers entrance because one, it's free, and also I'm going to do salat. So you can see that there's this long avenue with people walking. It's a high security area. There are gendarmes with assault rifles. There are armed police, and it is an area with lots of people with lots going on, and they're sending the corn and everything in between. It's an overall very incredible area. You can see the Hagia Sophia there, and yeah. So here I am right outside of the how is it called, Hagia Sophia. So around here is where you go in for praying. There's a tram line. There's the big park that I always see. It's not as big as I thought. And then there's, I think, Sultan Ahmed Jami. I'm not sure. You can see it's a very active area. There's restaurants. There's got some tea over there. You can see everywhere there's people, there's stuff going on. In the distance you can see a jame. And of course I'm going to go in and pray. I am now inside the Hagia Sophia complex. You can see there is Hagia Sophia, there is the wudu area, and here is me going through. You can see that so basically how Hagia Sophia was redone is that they kept the Byzantine original, and then they added minarets to it. By that I mean the how was he named? Fatih Sultan Mehmet. And then here you can see some of the columns, and then also as well there you have the old Byzantine architecture and how it was made. So very interesting to see. And if I remember correctly, they plastered over some of the like iconography inside the what is now the masjid from the old Hagia Sophia church. But now some of it's come off, so you can see it when you're inside. It is quite cool. So here I am inside of Hagia Sophia, what is arguably the crowning Ottoman achievement and the crown jewel of what was the Ottoman Empire, and was the crown jewel of kind of the conquest of, how's it called, kind of the crown jewel of the conquest of what was Constantinople, and kind of represents the conquest of what's it called, Istanbul. So you can see that you have the 4 Khalifas up here. So you have Ali, Umar, Abu Bakr, and Uthman. I'm not sure what those ones say. And then you also have Allah and Muhammad with Allah on the right. So you have a lot of this iconography, which extends to many of the how's it called? And then this extends to the iconography that you normally see in Turkish masjids, especially the 4 Khalifas. And yeah, you can see people are praying, people are looking. And another cool thing is you can actually see the Byzantine parts. See some Byzantine architecture there, and yeah, very cool. Here's me, and yeah, and you can see the mihrab is incredibly well designed. And what's cool is that they didn't, like, they built the mihrab in, but since it's not, the building was not built facing the Qibla, the mihrab is actually slightly off center. And then here's the minbar, This is very nice to see. So here I am at the entrance of Sultan Ahmet Jami, also known as the Blue Mosque. And this is a purpose-built, unlike the Hagia Sophia, which was a converted church. And you can see this purpose-built nature is reflected that it has the traditional courtyard that is commonplace in Ottoman mosques. You have the wudu fountain, and it's seemingly that the Grand Mosque that was built by Erdogan is modeled after this. You have the minarets, you have this large area where people can sit, and it's also used as overflow capacity when there's not enough people, and you can see everyone just kind of here relaxing. You got the smaller domes that then lead into the larger purpose-built building over there.
Gelir biraz.
He?
Gelir biraz.
İşlere ne zaman gelecek? He?
O sabahçı. Şimdi evde uyuyor mu şu anda?
Nesi var?
I am at Beykoz, which is I think farther up the like the Asian side of Istanbul. You can see it's a very rural area where I am. These roads are well paved but rural. We've got 18-wheeler. There seems to be bus routes running as part of the Istanbul public transit service. I'm not sure how it's called. You can see a minaret in the distance. You can see the power lines and these rolling green hills covered in greenery. Here's a bakery that we stopped at. And car, and you can see these houses. Reminds me much of Eastern European kind of villages, like maybe a village from Ukraine or that kind of thing. You can see. Currently in Istanbul Beykoz district, you can see here is a village area on the northeastern side of the Bosphorus, on the Asian side. And the third bridge, Sultan Selim Bridge, is over that way. One of the three bridges that crosses the Bosphorus, including the 15 July Martyrs, named after the coup, the people who stood up against the coup attempt in 2016, and Fatih Sultan Mehmet Bridge, which is named for the conqueror of Istanbul, Constantinople. You can see these. There's lots of greenery, and it seems to be. It's cloudy out, but you can see it's very green. It seems like it just rained recently or something like that. It's a very tight, winding streets, lots of houses, and yeah, everything's kind of built on a cliff or something like that. But yes, you can see there's cats around and everything. Very real Balkans kind of experience. So on this property that we're at, in the village area, we found, shown some fresh fruits. They're directly fresh from a tree right up there. One of the best fruits I've ever had. I'm not sure, it tastes kind of like lightly less sweet peach. Very good. Look, it's very steep on that path. But yeah, very cool overall. This is basically a jungle.
Yo, this is hollow. Yo. What? Yo, that's a hollow.
So here I am in Beykoz, which is a part of Istanbul, and you can see the rolling hills of the Anatolian part of Istanbul, and you can see some of the bridges in the distance. So there is the Bosphorus. So the Bosphorus is that waterway, and beyond that is the Golden Horn, I think. I honestly don't know where I am geographically. I just know I'm on the Asian side. of Anatolia. You can see all of the development, and I think
Hadi hafız çok
this way down the
I'm not sure.
channel
I'll ask Muhammed and Mustafa. Maybe
is the, how do you call it?
Hadi görüşürüz.
So on the left side is probably Üsküdar, where we're staying, and then on the right side is what was Constantinople, is now Istanbul, in the Fatih district. And you can see all of this. There's on these hills. There's all these people. So what's interesting here is you have so there's the first layer of security, and then apparently you have a second layer of security after you check in. And furthermore, you have so you have all of these check-in halls, and then you for the U.S. citizens, it's very easy. They have an entire dedicated check-in lane. Maybe it's because I came early, but it's very easy for everything. And you can see here, I'm gonna go through passport control for my international flight, and then I'm going to go through security one more time. You can see there are very high ceilings with, I think, the Turkish cross, or maybe it's an illusion projected onto it, but very nice. And also it's around the Euro Cup right now. The Euro Cup started yesterday. Germany beat Scotland 5-1, I think. So yeah.